Good morning, everyone. My name is Carla, and you have reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but also other crafts that I'm involved in, and a little bit of life thrown in. Today is Sunday. It is August 23rd, and this is my 58th FlossTube video. I would like to say welcome to anybody that is new and coming by for the first time. I hope that you enjoy what I have to say and want to like and subscribe. And for anybody that's a returning viewer, you know how much I appreciate you and give you my heartfelt thanks for coming by and spending some time with me each week. I feel like I'm a little subdued today. Those of you who've been watching my channel know that I had a tooth pulled on Friday, so I'm 2 days past that. Thank you to everybody who sent well wishes and checked on me. I have to give a big thank you shout out to my friend Dawn Frisch from Arizona, because she not only did she send me a birthday card this week, which was wonderful with a little bit of a surprise in it, but she also checked on me yesterday, and she just has taken the time to really send out warm wishes to me and let me know that I am cared for, which is so important to everyone, but to me. How am I doing? I'm okay. When I got up this morning, I thought, oh, no problem, no pain at all. And then as I was getting ready, it kind of like started building up a little bit. It was kind of like that yesterday as well. It's not super bad pain. It's just more like it's irritating, and it's like at first it's just irritating, and it's like, oh yeah, I can handle it, and then it kind of gets more and more and more irritating to the point where it's like, okay, I can't deal anymore. But it seems to be able to be controlled with a little bit of Advil, so yeah, so I'm doing okay. I am a little bit swollen, like right here, probably not enough to show up as really being swollen, but my gum is really swollen here, and I feel like my face is swollen too a little bit, so I have been kind of icing off and on, which past that first day I don't know if that actually does anything or not, except that it does like help make it feel a little bit better. It feels very weird in my mouth right now. The actual procedure was a piece of cake. Actually, I was really surprised because my appointment was at 9 o'clock, so I got in and I did, you know, the couple little, I paid, and I signed a couple forms, and then I went back. The dentist, you know, gave me a couple shots to numb me, which I think is a good percentage of the pain is like the injection sites, as that's where it's swollen and hurts. But as far as actually pulling the tooth, it took 5 minutes, you guys. I was like so surprised. He came in after I was numb, and you know, dentists and doctors always say like, oh, you'll feel a little bit of pressure, you know, and it feels like they're actually like gonna knock your head off. And there's some like really, really awful cracking noises that were happening inside of my mouth. But really, it took 5 minutes, and then he's like, okay, and we'll see you next week. And I walked away, and the nurse was like, I'm gonna sit you up now. I was quite a bit dizzy after that. I think probably because you're kind of in a supine position, and then they're like chiseling in your head. So I sat up. I was a little dizzy. I walked out to the lobby. I was a little dizzy, and the office manager's like, you want to sit down for a second? I'm like, yeah, I think I better. So I just sat down for a couple minutes, and then I was fine. That's it. I have a follow-up next Friday to go back in, and so they can check on it, and then it's just a matter of healing, and then we'll go to the next process of like getting a bridge put in and stuff. So yeah, I was actually super surprised at how quick it happened. My brother had a tooth pulled, kind of went through exactly the same thing I'm going through, except it was a front tooth several months ago, and he wasn't, you know, giving me horror stories or anything, but, you know, after I had it done and I was like, yeah, it took 5 minutes, he was like, it took like half an hour for his, and the dentist had to like renumb him like twice and stuff. So maybe because it was a front tooth, I don't know, his was obviously much more of an ordeal to get the tooth out. For me, it was relatively easy. I guess it's good, you know, and probably contributes to the fact that I'm not too swollen. I don't have any bruising on the outside of my face that you can see. There's bruising on my gums, definitely. It looks kind of gross in there. Yeah, it was the first day I ate completely smushy food. I got home and realized, you know, I don't think I have the proper stuff to eat. So I put in a quick Amazon fresh order to be delivered like in a couple hours, and I got some tofu and some milk and some pudding mix and a little bit of yogurt, stuff like that that I could just kind of like swallow without having to chew. And I hadn't eaten anything that day, which I guess was a mistake because they're all, oh, you're not gonna be able to eat for a while, but I didn't feel like it anyway. So I ate probably around 2 o'clock. I ate a little thing of applesauce, and then I had tofu and other smushy foods later in the day. Yesterday I was pretty much able to eat. I mean, I'm not eating anything crunchy, but I'm kind of more able to eat, you know, as long as I stick to this side. So yeah, so I haven't suffered too badly through this ordeal. As I said, I am having some pain right now. I don't feel great, and so probably when I finish this video I'm going to take it easy for the rest of the day. Yeah, so I'm doing okay. Thank you everybody who has sent well wishes and has worried about me a little bit. I'm okay, knock wood, I'll stay that way, and yeah, and hopefully the pain will go away by, you know, by the middle of the week. I'm hoping. Usually, from everything I've read, it's not supposed to last that long unless you get dry socket, which sounds terrible. And I'm doing what they say to not get that. I'm not using a straw. I'm not vigorously spitting or doing anything that might suction that clot, I guess, out of the thing, because you want the clot there to facilitate healing. Anyway, on to the cross stitching and away from the subject of my sore mouth. I did have, I didn't work on that many projects this week, I feel like, partly because, you know, I just wasn't feeling that great. I was anxious about my tooth coming up, and then after I had it done, I mean, I didn't really do much of anything on Friday. But I did have a sort of a finish and a new start. It's, you know, it's, I finished a piece of my lime cube and then started the last square. So this is, I finished, the peachy brown one. So to recap the ones I finished, I've got the lime. I've got threads hanging everywhere. I've got the lime done. I've got the blue, purple, and I've got the peachy one. Now the reason the canvases are different colors is because that's what I had. So I figure when it's all sewn together, it's not gonna matter. I worked maybe a little bit more on the pink. And then I started, once I finished the peach, I started the rainbow one. Yeah, so I got, you know, basically, well, I didn't finish a quadrant on this, but 3 full quadrants to do on this, 3 full quadrants to do on the pink, and then just something on the bottom, which is not going to take very long because I'm not going to do anything fancy at all. I'm just going to make sure there's stitches covering it, and then I will be able to put the cube together. then I need to decide what my next counted canvas project is going to be, and I have several interesting possibilities, so that's going to be maybe a hard decision to do. Okay, so on to the whips. One thing that I did do this week, which I haven't done in a while, is I worked on my diamond painting. I have it hanging over here. So I'm going to hold it back because I have discovered with this diamond painting, as with all diamond paintings, is you really need to see it at a distance. So at a distance you can kind of see, you know, well, you can definitely see the hat coming in, and then I just worked on the started the cat's face. This is what it will look like when it is finished. So I am really liking the picture. This diamond painting is proving to be a huge pain. It is a square draw diamond painting, and it is not from like a good quality. It was something that I got when I first started doing it. It's, you know, it's a Chinese, from a Chinese like CES deal, something like that. I think is where I got it. I don't really remember exactly, but I am having the popping drills problem that you can get with the less high quality square diamond paintings, meaning that the drills don't fit exactly, and because they're butted up against each other, they'll pop up and they're not laying nice, and they can actually fall off. And it seems like every time I go to work on it, I have to fill in some drills that have fallen off. So it's kind of a pain to have to deal with. I will seal it, so when I'm done, oh, sorry about that. When I'm done, it won't be an issue. But while I'm working on it, you know, I feel like I have to be really gentle with it. I was rolling it up. I stopped doing that. I hung it, as you can see, from a little hanger, and I'm just having it set there because rolling it up was like damaging it. The drills are not on tight enough to withstand the pressure of rolling it. So I'm hanging it, and I'm probably about a third, maybe a little bit more than a third of the way done with it. But I will seal it when I'm done with, I use like the glitter Mod Podge, but I water it down a lot, and I really make sure it like gets in between all of the drills, so it will, as well as, you know, it'll help make sure that they don't pop off once it's completed. And then I'm just gonna mount it to some, mount it to a board, you know, with duct tape around the edges and stuff, and then find a way to hang it outside my front door. I think I'm gonna have to get like a wreath hanger, which I've never used because I've never had a wreath, but hopefully that will work. And then I'm curious to see if it will win me any prizes for the door decorating contest for Halloween. I would, you know, think that it would, because it's pretty intense as far as decoration goes. So, okay, so besides working on the diamond painting, I did work on my ink circles project. This is Fireburn and Cauldron Bubble that I got out of a magazine, and so I was able to, this whole part down here is new, the cauldron, and I'm working on purple Aida on this with a needle Necessities orange floss, and a Coats & Clark green variegated floss. And I worked on this during a Zoom like stitchy meetup call, and I was putting in the cauldron and ended up having to frog out like half of what I did, because I got all the way to like the top like I went around this way and went all the way around, and I got all the way up here and it didn't match up, and realized that I had a stitch off down here, so I had to like unstitch all that and then restitch it. But this one is very enjoyable to stitch, and I'm finding like the whole monochromatic thing pretty fun. Actually, my first piece that I did, which was the cat pillow that I did for my mom, that was a White Willow Stitching tribal cat. That was a one floss, a variegated floss. So I have done it before, and it's nice in between all of your other projects to have that kind of project. Okay, then yesterday I worked on. It's funny, when I got home Friday, actually I was working on the lime cube, and I didn't feel like I was out of it, but I kept making all these mistakes. So while I was doing it, I was like, maybe I'm a little out of it, because this is not as easy as it usually is. But last night I did the diamond painting during the day, but then last night I actually worked on my Night Walk Down by the Blue Flower. This is what I'm stitching for my Black Cat birthday sal this year. Now last year I managed to finish my Black Cat birthday sal during August. This one I'm not going to be that prolific with it. The colors in this are so subtle, I'm afraid that it doesn't show up really good on camera, but it is really beautiful. So I did I stitched on her skirt, so I brought that down quite a bit, and then I did a floss part of this flower, and then I started on the cat's tail just because I was anxious to see the color difference. It's charted for her hair and the cat to be the same color. This is Cinders, which is kind of like a black with kind of a magenta red running through it, but I decided I did her hair as called for, but on the cat I changed it to Black Crow, which is like a black with a blue running through it, so I thought that might be kind of cool. So that is Night Walk Down by the Blue Flower on linen that I dyed myself. And that is really all I worked on this week. I do have a little bit of haul to show you. I had two friends who sent me Amazon gift cards for my birthday last week, and I really tried, at least in part, to use those gift cards for something indulgent. I don't know. Like, I didn't want to use them for groceries or for, soda that I buy on Amazon. I wanted to get something that was a little bit more present-y. So I spent some of it on a little bit of stitchy stuff. I've got stitchery tape finally, because as I said, the Blue Flower's Gathering Honey, which I put up there. I didn't think you guys would be able to see it, but you can, because it's up there. Oh, and just as an aside, fangirl moment, I sent it to the Blue Flower's website, because she has something on her site called Stitching in Action. I think it's Stitching in Action. And you can send in anything that you're working on that's Blue Flower, and she'll post it. And I got a lovely email back from her that it was just amazing and beautiful, and she was posting it right away, and it is on that site. So that's exciting to go see, my work on that website. But I finished it. I mean, it looks good from the front, but the back is like scary. It's, I did it with duct tape because that's what I had, and I didn't feel like waiting. So I got some stitchery tape so I can be a little bit better with future things. And then I just got 2 packages of Sulky Petites, which, are on Amazon as well as other sites. Holding them up, I'm like, they look the same, but they're not really. They're there's 2 purples and a pink and a blue, which are going to be options for me for the solid color for the cats on Sampler Osha. that I'm going to start in September for Sampler September. And I'm going to use a silky blendables for the bulk of the piece, and then I'm going to use a solid one for the actual cats. So I have to decide which between purple, pink, and blue is going to look best with the blendables that I'm using. So, but I thought it would be fun to have a new kind of fiber to work with, and yeah, so I will be trying it out on that sampler piece, and then, you know, now that I have sort of a little assortment of colors, I can do other things with it. So that's what I use some of my birthday money for. Plans is the next thing. I'm a little bit out of it. I hope you guys forgive me. I'm also getting, you know, the glow because I turned my air conditioning off, and on top of that I'm just not doing so great at the moment. But the 29th is going to be happening next week, which is the day that I usually try and work on Froth and Bubble, because although I didn't start it for the Long Dog Leap Day sale, I did include it in the Long Dog Leap Day sale. I kind of joined in on that because I think having a day to stitch on it every month, a designated day, is a good idea. But on top of that, the 29th is also my dad's birthday, so I have 2 projects that are dedicated to him, so I definitely need to want to work on one or both of those this coming week. I want to work a little bit on I Walk Down, you know, just continuing all my projects that I have, because, you know, I have them as projects because I love them all. I'm really anxious to start my sampler, but that won't happen until the week after next because I'm not going to start it till September. And then, yeah, I have a bunch of other things that I eventually would like to start too, but as I said last week, I really want to try and get some of my whips finished. And I just realized I forgot to show you my other whip that I worked on last week, which was Kreinik Mfg, and I worked on this 2 stitching sessions, so I probably got about that much done on this diagonal. Isn't she pretty? I'm still not at the cat yet, so I don't know if that's gonna happen in the next diagonal or not. But as you know, I do enjoy working on my full coverage. I have like 4 or 5 projects now that I work on my table because I work on them on my table stand. So, you know, it's just a matter of whether or not I feel like sitting up here and working. So I want to keep working on my mermaids, keep working on Ella, and then I have my full coverage. I just have so much stuff. I have, you know, too many projects to do all the time, like most of us. But so that's in general my plans for next week. You know, nothing specific, just, you know, keep going and try and get some of this stuff done. I think that's it for me today. This is obviously a really short video. I'm not as chatty as I usually am. Please forgive me. I thought it was important to come on here and do a video because I'm not, you know, I can sit up, I can talk, but I'm just a little bit not feeling great. And this will pass. I'll be better soon. So, I hope you guys have a wonderful week coming up. It's still super hot here in Southern California, in the 90s every day, and I'm done with it. Ready for fall. If you're in hot weather like I am, just stay cool, drink lots of liquids, and yeah, stay hydrated, because that's really important for your well-being. And I hope you have a great stitchy week ahead. Please remember, until I see you again next week, to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Karla. Bye, everybody.